All right. What is going on? Welcome to episode 001 of the Chad Driscoll video cast or vlog here. Um, Basically, what we're going to cover was a lot about hoops and be able to talk a lot about really the preparation period for kids in the off season, since that's what we're starting. Um, I'm really going to concentrate this type of section on a lot of stuff for kids so that they can better prepare. I'm going to share some of my life lessons and my life stories so they don't make those same mistakes, or they can make better choices when growing up, and just have a little bit more knowledge on how to train better, how to get the correct benefits, and how to get yourself ready for the season. So um, yeah, but I guess without further ado, let's just jump on into this. I just kind of start with telling you guys my story, because I think it's super beneficial to not necessarily try and force and create content, rather than just kind of sharing my story with people. And um, I've been in love with basketball all my life. From the day I can remember, I was going to the gym with my dad and my uncles, and I was shooting around, wasn't able to play yet. I was pretty small, and it was an awesome time, because that's where I really fell in love with the game, with watching other people play it, and I got to see the excitement in it. I got to see how enjoyable competition could be. Um, And through those years, I mean, I spent countless amounts of hours out in my driveway, probably not as much as people should. And that's the one thing that I wish I would have done more of, is constantly being out in my driveway, or constantly putting in work. Um, and now some people might think, hey, like, I put in work all the time. I'm shooting in the gym every day. Um, be brutally honest, like, I would say 99.999% of you aren't doing enough. You could be doing more. Um, and it was always my aspiration to play in the NBA. I mean, I had it written up on my wall: Chad Driscoll 2014 NBA draft class. So that was when I graduated college. Um, and as my years went on, I started to realize, hey, this dream might not be happening. And really came to truth with myself when I really self-reflected and saw that that my work that I was putting in, what I was investing into it, wasn't really going to be enough to get me to my aspirations and to my goals. And that was really hard for me to deal with. It was a time in my life where I really didn't know where I wanted to go. And even these past few years have been really trying to figure some stuff out in terms of the career path that I want to do. And I've always come back to, like, really basketball, and enjoy fitness as well. But my main passion is basketball, and sharing that knowledge and sharing that love with other people, and really wanting people to be able to take something from my experiences, and hopefully make that a much better experience for themselves. So, yeah, man. I mean, going on, once I was able to play with my uncle and my dad, and I mean, it was awesome. I felt like I was unstoppable in the term of, I was playing competitive basketball at the age of, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years old, with guys that were anywhere from 25 to 35 years old. And granted, at the start, hey, they were cutting me some slack, leaving me open, and then started knocking down shots, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, like, this kid might be able to play a little bit, and then, that tough guy gets up in your grill or something, or gives you an elbow here and there. So, but that's really where I learned how to, get my shot off faster, really mentally focus and play a little harder, and really how to defend. A lot of times people say, like, oh, well, in pickup basketball, you're not really defending. Well, for me, I was having to go up against guys that were bigger, stronger, faster, and more skilled than I was, and I had to figure out a way to defend them. So I learned a lot through that little court that we played on. And I really kind of came to my own and found my own identity. It was a pretty decent shooter, and really kind of took off in those years. And that was really when I was getting up into high school. But playing against those guys where you have to get your shot off quicker because they're coming in higher or faster, that prepared me for high school. And once I was in high school, it all came pretty easy to me. Struggled with my outside shot a little bit, but I really wanted to, really just wanted to score. Being that kid that in elementary school and stuff like that, I was always probably just a little bit more athletically gifted than most of the other kids, and I got away with a lot of stuff. I got away with 1-foot takeoffs and dribbling through traps, and maybe anyone that's ever played the game, what I'm talking about. So, got away with all that, and then as I got to like freshman, sophomore year, it really started to hit like I'm not going to be able to do all this stuff anymore, and so that's when I really kind of reevaluated who I wanted to be on the basketball court and what I needed to do to get better. And I always knew, like, I was never one to, I guess, to really like shy away from like a camp or anything like that. And I always knew that I needed to be better, and that there were other people that were doing other things that were going to get me better. But for some reason, I just, it was always that teenage thought in my head, like, oh, I want to go hang out with my friends. I want to, I don't want to sacrifice anything socially to and better myself. And I put in work, but I still will always go back. And if anyone ever asked me for the truth, I would tell them I didn't put in enough work, or I could have put in more. I put in enough work for what my true aspirations are. And I say true aspirations is because I can say, and everyone can say that their aspirations are to play in the NBA, but if you truly ask them, hey, do you think you're going to play in the NBA? I mean, I would say for the most part, anyone can come to their senses and say, probably not. I mean, just based on the odds, I'm being realistic, the odds of playing in the NBA are absolutely minimal. And, so, I mean, I was starting to realize about middle of high school that, hey, this might not be a thing that I want to pursue past it. And there were some really low moments for me in my life that I thought I should have been achieving something better. I thought maybe I was letting my parents down. And they always reminded me that was never the case, that whatever I wanted to do, they were going to support. And that stayed true to this day. So I've been super blessed to have parents like that, and to have a supporting cast that really supports me and whatever I've wanted to do. Is that always have been my number one fan as well. So, but yeah. So I'd say little takeaways from this video here. Like, truly evaluate who you want to be on the basketball court, what you want to accomplish, and don't let it be like, I want to, like, some bullshit thing, like, I want to win, I don't know, 20 games, or no, like, who do you want to be? Whether it's a leader, whether it's the sharp shooter, whether it's the hustle guy, like, find an identity that you want to be, and like go after it with your tongue hanging out. There's just so much wasted time and wasted resources that, I mean, especially in the middle school and high school, like, I can't even start to tell you like how much time I was wasting, like sitting in the hallway talking to who knows, talking to some of my friends when like we would sit there and talk for a half hour, and then like we'd go home, do our homework, and we'd go back over to the other person's house, and hang out again. And just thinking back at how I allocated my time and how I used it, I could have been way better with it. If I had the knowledge and resources that I have now, to know really what it would take to get to some of my dreams and aspirations, then I would have been a lot better off when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. Yeah, and I would say once you find out who you want to be, make, I mean, not I don't like I say daily, but not even daily deposits. Make like down to the hour, down to the minute. Like have your day planned out where you are depositing minute by minute into your skill bank, into your knowledge bank, into your identity. Work at it every day. Like finish your homework fast. Complete it. Make sure it's thoroughly finished, and then just go and like. There are so many good resources out there, especially with like YouTube and shit and Facebook, and I mean, fuck, like there's so much shit out there now that like was just becoming apparent when I was in high school. That you have so many resources to like skill work and shooting and all that mindset kind of stuff, and it's just like it's incredible to me like how many people don't really utilize it. So yeah, I mean, just dive into material, go and subscribe to every freaking basketball guy that you like that you think could be beneficial to you, and like study his shit. I mean, I wouldn't like stay off of like the hoop mixtape and crap like that, and being obsessed with all these high school stars. I mean, that's for another story too. I mean, a whole other video. But go and dive into people's shit and like message them. Message them, say like, hey, like this is what I'm doing, this is my passion, and go like find them on Instagram, direct message them, and say, hey, like, what do you have anything that you can give me? This is what I'm trying to do. And it will be a fulfilling experience. Now, hey, 1 in 50 people might say absolutely nothing, but the other one might say something, and hey, it might be Steph Curry. So just always be reaching out to people and really dive into what they have to say. Now, in terms of like your coach and stuff like that, like take as much information as you possibly can, but always know like where you want to go, who you want to be, and you'll always be taken kind of in the right direction. And I say that because I had so many coaches throughout my career, and we didn't get along. I mean, we didn't get along because I was like outsourcing my summers and stuff to people that were definitely more knowledgeable than them in the field of basketball. And I was coming back with information and trying to implement it. And it was like, I mean, they were so hesitant to it. So I always had the mindset, and my dad always said this too. He's like, your coach he's your coach. You have to listen to him. And just take as much from him as you can. Whether that's, hey, how you want to act when you're older differently towards the kids that you coach, or you'd like some of the information that he has to give. But just always be a sponge to information and then process it the way that you want to process it. The worst thing you can do is be completely negligent to your coach, especially your coach in high school or middle school, especially if you want to play on a high school or middle school team, just because like at the end of the day, they have favorites. I don't really care what anybody says. Coaches have favorites. I had favorites when I was coaching, and you tend to play those favorites a little bit more. So if you want to play more, I would say stay on your coach's good side, but then also have the relationship and the comfortability with him to be able to, hey, take positive feedback and give feedback towards him or towards her in a positive manner, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I want to cover that that we're gonna save for a later date. But hey, you guys like keep going after it. Like I said, go and message people and get as much content as you possibly can, and don't give up on your dream. If you want to be, if you're in the shoes of me right now and you're saying, hey, I want to play in the NBA in 6-7 years, whatever, however old you are, go and research the work that those kids are putting in, and like write out like how much time like each task that they do, like down to like making their bed, is going to take you, and then multiply all of that time by like 3, and then go do it 3 times as much. Because the odds are is you are probably a lot less athletically gifted, genetically predisposed with height, muscle growth, all that kind of stuff, conditioned. You're probably less than that top player, so you need to do 3 times as much to get there, or to get even close. And just always be thinking about, you never know who's watching. You know, they're like, you could be out at a park in, who knows, North Carolina, and Coach K and his grandkids walk by, and he sees you working. Like, how were you working at that time if you knew Coach K was walking up? And that's kind of always the way that I thought about training, and I thought about practicing too. And it just puts you in kind of a different mindset, a little competitive mindset, and keeps you going. So, hey, keep on going towards your aspirations and goals. Don't give a shit what people think about you. Go after it, balls out, and let me know your progress. Go ahead and ask me any questions you guys want in terms of basketball. I'm always covering basketball stuff on here. Again, this is episode 001. Hey, you keep asking me questions, and I'll keep showing you how to be better and dominate. See you guys.